The camera opens on a lawyer's office. Gray, minimalist, professional. I'm sitting across from a mahogany desk. My attorney, Mr. Chen, slides a document toward me. His face is serious, controlled. Mr. Chen, the deposition starts in 3 weeks. They're going to deny everything. They always do. My hand reaches for the folder. It's thin, white. Underneath it is a flash drive labeled with a single date, June 15th. I never thought I would be here. I never thought it would come to this. But my sister has no idea what she's walking into. Cut to black. The sound of scissors cutting through hair plays. A little girl crying. A man's voice, low and firm. Don't move her, hold her still. That moment changed everything, not because of what happened, but because of what I realized I was capable of. Fade to title card. 2 years earlier. My apartment is modest but warm. Morning light filters through white curtains, plants on the windowsill, books stacked on the coffee table, nothing organized, everything lived in. I'm making breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast with butter, coffee in a ceramic mug my daughter Lily made at school. It has her handprint painted on the side in blue. My name is Sarah. I'm a freelance graphic designer, not famous, not rich, just someone trying to build a quiet life for my daughter after her father and I separated. We were 7 years out from the divorce, 7 years of stability, 7 years of breathing normally. I pour milk into the mug. The blue handprint disappears as the white liquid fills it. Lily comes running down the hallway. She's 8 years old, brown eyes, long dark hair that falls past her shoulders. She's wearing her school uniform, a navy jumper with an embroidered crest. Lily, Mum, can we go to the park after school? Sarah from my class said there's a new climbing frame. I smile at her, real, not performing, just a mother. If you finish all your maths homework without complaining, we'll go for an hour. She wraps her arms around my neck from behind and squeezes. Tight. This was my life, ordinary, peaceful. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't exciting, but it was mine, and Lily's, and that was everything. I drop her at school at 8:47 a.m. She waves through the car window, and I watch her disappear into the building with her backpack bouncing. The drive to my design studio is 18 minutes. I know the exact route. The traffic light that always turns red at the intersection of Ashton and 3rd. The coffee shop with the green awning where I buy lunch on Thursdays. My studio is a small office in a converted warehouse. 1 desk, 1 chair, a large monitor, invoices stacked neatly in a filing cabinet, work calendar marked with client deadlines in neat handwriting. The morning is spent designing a logo for a restaurant. Simple, minimalist, professional. I had 5 regular clients. None of them paid exceptionally well, but the income was steady, about $52,000 a year. After rent, groceries, Lily's school fees, and a modest savings account, we had what we needed. We weren't drowning. We weren't thriving. We were stable. And in my experience, stability is more valuable than any amount of excitement. My phone buzzes at 11:30 a.m. A message from my sister, Rebecca. Hey, haven't seen Lily in forever. Can I pick her up from school today? Maybe take her for ice cream. I read it twice. Rebecca lives 40 minutes away in the suburbs. She's a social media influencer. Instagram personality. Rebecca roars with 247,000 followers. She posts about wellness, parenting, home organization. She's beautiful, always has been. I haven't spoken to her in 3 weeks. Rebecca was my younger sister, 2 years younger. Growing up, people always compared us. I was the quiet one, the studious one. She was the beautiful one, the charismatic one. As adults, the dynamic hadn't changed much, except now her beauty and charisma had turned into profit. She had monetized her personality, and I was, still designing logos for restaurants. I type back, sure, pick her up at 3:15. She loves ice cream. The smiley face emoji I add feels forced, but I'm trying. That's what you do with family. You try. Rebecca picks up Lily at 3. 15 p.m. sharp. I know this because the school sends a message to my phone when Lily exits the building. I see Rebecca's car, a white Range Rover, pristine, expensive, pull up. I see Lily run toward it, excited. I don't think anything of it. If I'm being honest, I felt a small twinge of something. Maybe jealousy, maybe resentment. Rebecca got to be the fun aunt who appeared occasionally with ice cream and attention. I got to be the mother who enforced bedtimes and homework. But that's the deal you make as a parent. You're not supposed to be the fun one. Lily returns home at 6:47 p.m. She comes through the door singing, happy. Her hands are sticky with chocolate ice cream. Auntie Rebecca took me to the cinema after ice cream, Lily says. We saw that film with the talking cats. That sounds wonderful. She runs upstairs to get changed. I don't ask more questions. That night, I notice something small. Lily's hair looks strange under the bathroom light. Not wrong, just different, thinner maybe, I mention it. Did you get something tangled in your hair? We should brush it out before bed. Auntie Rebecca said it looked pretty short. The words don't make sense to me immediately. What do you mean short? She said my hair would be prettier if I cut it, so we did. I feel something cold move through my chest. You cut your hair? Auntie Rebecca did. I take her to the bathroom. I turn on all the lights. Her hair, which had fallen past her shoulders this morning, now ends at her chin. Uneven. Hacked. Like someone took scissors and made decisions without precision or care. Not a professional cut. A destruction. I remember the exact moment my breathing changed. It became shallow, thin, like my lungs had forgotten how to work properly. I stared at my daughter's hair in that bathroom mirror, and something inside me broke. Not metaphorically, actually fractured. I don't yell, I don't cry. I sit down on the edge of the bathtub. Did it hurt? No, Auntie Rebecca said it wouldn't. She said it would be fun, like a secret. A secret. My hands shake. I keep them flat against my thighs so Lily won't see. Okay, sweetheart, let's not tell anyone about this secret, okay? It's just between us and Auntie Rebecca. Sometimes grown-ups do things that are special. Lily nods. I kiss the top of her head. That night, after she's asleep, I call Rebecca. She answers on the third ring. Background noise, music, people talking. She's at a restaurant or party, somewhere with an audience. Me, why did you cut Lily's hair? REBCCA. Oh my God, is she upset? I thought it would be cute. Don't be so dramatic about it. Hair grows back. Me, that's not the point. You don't make decisions about her body without asking me first. REBCCA. Jesus, Sarah, you're being so uptight about this. I took her out, we spent time together, I suggested a cute haircut and she agreed. We had fun. But okay, sorry your precious daughter's hair is short now. It's not a crime. I listened to her breathing on the other end of the line. Me, don't take her alone again without asking me first. REBCCA, whatever you say, Mom. She hangs up. I told myself it was an isolated incident, that Rebecca was thoughtless but not malicious, that she'd overstepped but there was no real harm. Hair grows back, that's what she said. Hair grows back, I almost believed it. But 3 days later, I get an email from Lily's school. Parent-guardian concern raised. I open it with my stomach in my throat. The email is from the deputy headmaster, Mr. Thornton. Email text. Dear Ms. Sarah Mitchell, we have received reports from other parents regarding unexplained changes to Lily's appearance. While we do not wish to make unfounded accusations, we have a duty of care to investigate any changes that might indicate a welfare concern. Could you please arrange a meeting with us at your earliest convenience? This is standard procedure. I read it 4 times. Welfare concern. As if I'd done something to her. As if I wasn't there. That's when the gaslighting began, not from Rebecca directly. She wasn't in the room, but her action, this single impulsive decision, had opened a door that I would spend months trying to close. The meeting is scheduled for the following Tuesday. I sit in Mr. Thornton's office. dark wood desk, a framed photo of his family on the corner. He has kind eyes, but they're looking at me like he's trying to see something underneath. Mr. Thornton, we've had 3 parents contact us expressing concern about Lily's hair. One parent specifically asked if everything was okay at home. I want to assure you that we're not making any assumptions, but as a school, we have to take these things seriously. My sister took her for ice cream and made a poor decision about a haircut without consulting me first. That's all that happened. Mr. Thornton, has there been any other incidents, any behavioral changes, anything Lily has mentioned that caused concern? No. Mr. Thornton, we have her on our monitoring list now, just as a precaution. If any staff members notice anything unusual, we'll follow protocol. But I wanted you to know directly, parent to parent, that we're keeping an eye on things. The phrase, monitoring list, sits in my chest like a stone. He was kind about it, professional, but the implication was clear. I was a mother under suspicion, and my daughter, who had done nothing wrong, was a child under surveillance. Over the next 4 weeks, the situation escalates in ways I don't anticipate. Rebecca posts a photo to her Instagram. It's Lily, mid-ice cream cone, looking happy. The caption reads, "Quality time with my favorite niece. Sometimes the best memories are made when we're being creative together." Ribbon Sparkle's Family First Anti-Life. 247,000 people like the post. In the comments, people write things like, "Her haircut is adorable. You're such a fun aunt. Goals, honestly." And then, underneath these comments, there's something else. Screenshots of the post are shared in neighborhood Facebook groups. "Does anyone know this child?" And links to stories about child welfare, about signs to watch for. Someone, I still don't know who, contacts Child Protective Services. My voice, voiceover. CPS doesn't show up with sirens and drama. They show up quiet, professional, which somehow makes it worse. The social worker, Ms. Patricia Rivera, arrived at my home on a Thursday afternoon. She had a folder, she had questions, and she had the authority to remove my daughter if she saw fit. Ms. Rivera is in her late 40s, tired eyes, but professional. She sits on my sofa with a pen and notebook. "MS, RIVERA, I'm sure this feels invasive. It is invasive. That's the job. I've received a report suggesting potential neglect or harm to the minor in your care. I need to ask you some questions and observe the child in her home environment." I haven't harmed my daughter. My sister cut her hair without permission. That's all. "MS, RIVERA, the report mentions the haircut. It also mentions concerns about supervision and home safety. Can you walk me through a typical day?" I do. She writes everything down. She asks about Lily's diet, her sleep schedule, her emotional state, whether there are any men living in the home, whether I drink or use drugs, whether Lily has ever expressed fear of me. With each question, I feel myself becoming smaller. This is what gaslighting feels like. It's not someone shouting at you or calling you names. It's someone with authority suggesting that maybe, possibly, you're not as good a mother as you think you are. And then you start to wonder if they're right. Ms. Rivera interviews Lily alone in the living room while I wait in the kitchen. Through the crack in the door, I can see them sitting together. Lily is drawing something. Ms. Rivera is talking to her quietly. It takes 23 minutes. When it's over, Ms. Rivera shakes my hand. "MS, RIVERA, everything appears fine. Lily is a happy, well-adjusted child. There are no visible signs of harm. However, this report will remain on file. If we receive another report, we'll follow up again, just so you're aware." She leaves. I lock the door and sit on the floor of my kitchen and cry in a way I haven't allowed myself to cry in years. I was furious, not the loud kind of fury, the silent kind, the kind that calcifies in your chest and becomes something else, something colder. But the damage is already done. Word spreads through the school community, not explicitly, never explicitly, but mothers start crossing the street when they see me. They don't invite Lily to birthday parties. At pickup, there are whispers I'm not supposed to hear. I hear them anyway. My work suffers. One of my regular clients, a restaurant owner named Marcus, suddenly says his brand strategy has changed direction and he won't need design services anymore. This is Marcus, who 6 months prior said my work was exactly what he needed. Now he's polite but distant. I lose $8,400 in annual income in a single email. 2 other clients follow suit within weeks. I realized what was happening. Rebecca had framed a narrative online, a narrative of a concerned aunt noticing something wrong in her sister's home. Whether intentional or not, she'd poisoned the well, and I was drowning in it. I call Rebecca directly. Me, you need to take down that Instagram post. REBCCA, why would I do that? It's just a picture of us having fun. Me, because people are using it against me. CPS showed up at my house. People in the school think I'm neglecting my daughter. I've lost clients. You need to fix this. REBCCA. Wow, so it's my fault that people have wild imaginations. I posted a photo. I'm not responsible for what random people do with it. Me, you posted it with context. You made it seem like you were concerned enough to take action. And now? REBCCA. Now what, Sarah? Now your life is hard. Join the club. Life is hard for everyone. I'm sorry if my Instagram post made things difficult for you, but I'm not deleting it. It's authentic content from my life. And frankly, if people are concerned about Lily, maybe there's a reason. The line goes quiet. Me, what does that mean? REBCCA. Nothing, I'm just saying. You're always so busy with your work. You leave her at school. You leave her with babysitters. I'm just wondering if you ever actually spend quality time with your daughter. That's when I understood. Rebecca wasn't just thoughtless. She was strategic. She'd found a weakness in my life. The fact that I worked, that I was a single mother, that I couldn't be everything to everyone, and she was using it as a weapon. Not directly. Not where anyone could trace it back to her, but effectively nonetheless. I don't respond. I hang up. The next morning, I wake up different. It's hard to explain. Physically, everything about me is the same, but something inside has shifted, crystallized. I make Lily breakfast. I kiss her head. I drive her to school. But internally, I have stopped being angry. I have become focused. This is the moment that changes everything for people like me. The moment when you stop reacting and start acting. When you stop being a victim and start being someone dangerous. Not violent. Dangerous is different. Dangerous is someone who thinks 3 moves ahead. I go to my studio. I open a new folder on my desktop. I label it Documentation. Inside this folder, I create a spreadsheet. It has columns for dates, times, incidents, witnesses, and evidence. June 15th, hair cutting incident. Lily presents social media, post by Rebecca. June 20th, CPS report filed, unknown reporter. June 21st, CPS home visit. Ms. Patricia Rivera observed everything was fine. June 25th, client Marcus cancels services. Email suggests family concerns prompted decision. June 28th, Instagram post still live. 347,000 likes. July 2nd, overheard parent comment at school pickup about welfare concerns. I was building a timeline, not for revenge, for evidence. There's a difference. Revenge is emotional, evidence is fact. I also start a separate notebook. This one is handwritten. It contains my recollections of every conversation I've had with Rebecca in the past year, not just about the haircut, everything. The time she said, "You should really try to be less. You, more like me, you'd have an easier life." The time she borrowed £500 and never paid it back. The time she posted a photo of Lily on her Instagram without asking permission. The time she commented on my body during a family dinner and said, "Must be hard looking the way you do when your sister is me." These moments, individually, aren't crimes. Together, they paint a portrait. I was starting to see Rebecca not as my sister, but as a pattern of manipulation, a pattern of using her beauty and charisma to get what she wanted and hurting people who got in her way. I hire a lawyer. This is a decision that costs me. Mr. Chen charges $350 an hour. I meet with him for 2 hours. That's $700. I don't have an extra $700. I'm already losing clients. But I do it anyway. Mr. Chen, what are you hoping to accomplish here? Me, I want to understand what my options are. My sister cut my daughter's hair without permission. That action triggered a CPS investigation, rumors, loss of income, and damage to my reputation. I want to know if that's something I can take legal action on. He leans back in his chair. Mr. Chen, legally speaking, cutting someone's hair without consent could potentially constitute assault. However, in this case, your sister might argue she had implied consent from Lily, who is a minor. The haircut itself didn't cause physical injury, and the CPS report, while inconvenient, was closed. There are no ongoing findings of neglect. Me, so I have no recourse. Mr. Chen, not through civil law, but defamation is another matter. If Rebecca made specific false statements about you as a parent that caused financial or reputational harm, you might have a case. That's harder to prove, but possible. Me, what would I need? Mr. Chen, documentation, proof that Rebecca made false statements, evidence of damages, and proof of causation. That's the hard part. I stand up to leave. Mr. Chen, if you're considering this route, I'd suggest you start documenting everything. Every interaction, every message, every post. Save it all, screenshot it, date it. You're going to need a paper trail. I left his office with a single goal. Create a paper trail so detailed that Rebecca's entire carefully constructed image would become impossible to defend. I start with her Instagram. Using a screen recording app, I capture every photo and video she's posted in the last year. 247,000 followers means she's monetizing this account. Every post is an investment. Every like is profit. I take screenshots of her captions. I document the dates and times. I note the engagement metrics. I also start saving her DMs. This is legal. She sent them to me, but it feels invasive. It felt like violation, but I was learning that violation is a two-way street. She'd violated my family, my privacy, my reputation. Now I was going to violate hers, legally and thoroughly. 3 months pass in silence. To anyone observing, my life looks normal. I pick Lily up from school. I help with homework. I cook dinner. We watch films on Thursday nights and read together on Sunday mornings. But underneath this routine, I am building something. I have hired a private investigator named David Wu. David is a former detective, calm, direct. He charges $125 an hour and doesn't judge what you're asking him to do. David, what specifically are you looking for? Me, my sister is an Instagram influencer. She makes money from sponsored posts, from partnerships, from brand deals. I want to know how much money she's making. David, that's public information if you know where to look. Companies disclose revenue. Some influencers disclose earnings. Me, I want everything, every partnership, every sponsored post, every company that's paid her. I want to know exactly how much her personal brand is worth. David, that's going to take time. Me, I have time. What I didn't have was much money, but I was willing to sacrifice everything I had for this. That's what you do when someone hurts your child. You burn your life down to the foundation and rebuild it on top of the person who hurt you. David files Freedom of Information requests. He contacts marketing agencies. He finds Instagram's partnership disclosure database. Over 6 weeks, he builds a comprehensive financial profile of Rebecca's income. She makes, on average, $14,000 a month from Instagram alone. That's $168,000 a year. Additionally, she has partnership deals with 5 different wellness brands. These deals are worth approximately $5,000 each per post, and she does 4 to 5 sponsored posts per month. Total annual income, approximately $240,000 to $280,000 per year. All of it based on her image. All of it dependent on trust. I had found Rebecca's vulnerability, not her ability to physically harm, her need to be liked, her need to be believed, her need for her image to remain perfect. I also hire a digital forensics expert. Her name is Yuki. She comes to my apartment one evening after Lily is asleep. I need you to recover deleted messages from my sister's social media accounts, messages she sent to me before deleting them. Yuki, I can't hack into her accounts, that would be illegal. Not her accounts. Mine. I want to recover messages she sent to me that I may have accidentally deleted. Yuki, that's different, that's legal, that's recovery of data you own. Yuki works for 2 days. She recovers 14 deleted messages between Rebecca and me. Some of them are mundane, some of them are not. One message, dated 8 months ago, says, "I've been thinking about how unfair it is that you get Lily. I mean, I'd be such a better mother. I actually have time for her. I actually care about her life. Not like you, working constantly, pulling off her upbringing to babysitters." Another one. "Sometimes I wonder if CPS should take a closer look at your home. Just saying. People have reported concerns." This message was sent 1 week before the CPS report was filed. I had proof, not circumstantial, not implied, direct evidence that Rebecca had considered reporting me to CPS before it actually happened, that she had contemplated taking my daughter from me, that this wasn't a single thoughtless moment. It was a pattern, a campaign. I also record my telephone conversations with Rebecca. I live in a state where one-party consent is legal, which means I can record calls without her knowledge. Over 4 months, I have 3 conversations with her. The first is hostile. The second is her trying to repair the relationship. The third is her, in her own words, admitting that she knew the haircut would upset me, and she did it anyway. Rebecca recorded, "Look, I'm sorry about the whole hair thing, but honestly I was just trying to help. You're always so uptight about everything. Lily's hair, your life, your design career. You needed someone to loosen you up a little. That was me trying to be that person." Emmy recorded, "By cutting my daughter's hair without permission." Rebecca recorded, "By showing you that not everything has to be perfect, but I guess that lesson didn't land because you're still being uptight about it." There it was, in her own voice. Rebecca admitting that she knew what she did would upset me, and she did it anyway. That she saw my child, and instead of respecting her, she saw an opportunity to make a point about her own sister. That was the moment I knew I was going to win. 6 months into my preparation, I meet with Mr. Chen again. This time, I bring everything. The spreadsheet, the screenshots, the deleted messages, the financial profile, the recorded conversations. I place all of it on his desk. "Mr. Chen, this is comprehensive." "Can I take her to court?" "Mr. Chen, you can. You have a case for defamation. You have a case for intentional infliction of emotional distress. You have evidence of false statements that caused financial harm. This is actually a strong case." "What would happen if we sued?" "Mr. Chen, discovery. She would have to turn over all of her communications, all of her financial records, all of her Instagram data. A lot of what you've compiled here would come out in court. Her reputation would take a hit." "Could she settle?" "Mr. Chen, probably. Most people would, rather than have their private life aired in public." My voice, voiceover. "I didn't want a settlement. Settlements are quiet. Settlements are confidential agreements that protect both parties. I wanted something different." I tell Mr. Chen to wait. I tell him I'm not ready yet. 3 weeks later, David calls me. He's found something. "David, your sister is being investigated." My heart stops. "David, it's not public yet, but I have a source. The FTC, that's the Federal Trade Commission, is investigating her for failing to properly disclose sponsored content. Apparently, several of her Instagram posts were sponsored, but she didn't use the required disclosure tags. Me, what does that mean? David, it means she's been deceptively advertising products. It's a violation of FTC guidelines, and if they find against her, it could result in significant fines, possibly $50,000 or more. This is what I call the moment of grace, the moment when the universe intervenes on your behalf, the moment when you realize you don't have to destroy someone. Someone else is already doing it. Your job is just to help them along. I contact Mr. Chen immediately. Me, there's an FTC investigation. It's not public, but I know about it. Mr. Chen, how do you know about it? Me, does it matter? Mr. Chen, it might, depends on the source. Me, a private investigator, through legal channels. Mr. Chen, okay, this changes the picture. If the FTC is already moving against her for deceptive advertising, that corroborates the pattern of behavior you've documented. It shows she has a history of being misleading with her audience. Me, can we use that in court? Mr. Chen, potentially, but I want to hold off on filing suit. Let's see what the FTC does first. If they announce findings against her, the narrative has already shifted. You're not attacking her. You're simply seeking justice for specific harms after she's already been held accountable by a federal agency. This is the twist. This is the moment where the protagonist realizes that vengeance doesn't require violence. Sometimes it requires patience. Sometimes it requires letting other forces do the work. Your job is just to be ready when the moment comes. But there's more. I discover that Rebecca's partnership with one major wellness brand, a company called Radiant Goods that sells skincare products, is being quietly ended. The company hasn't announced it publicly, but I find the information through corporate SEC filings. Radiant Goods is reorganizing their influencer partnerships due to brand safety concerns. Rebecca was their highest-profile ambassador. She was making approximately $25,000 per month from this partnership alone. I watched her empire start to crack, not because of me, because of her own choices, because of decisions she made thinking no one was watching, but I was always watching. The FTC announcement comes on a Thursday. It's publicly released. FTC actions against influencers failing to disclose sponsored content. Rebecca is named alongside 5 other influencers. The proposed fine is $47,500. Additionally, the release states that Rebecca must pay restitution to consumers and implement clear disclosure policies. Within hours, her brand partnerships begin to crumble. Radiant Goods releases a statement. We have decided to discontinue our partnership with Rebecca Thorne effective immediately due to recent regulatory concerns. Her other partners follow suit. By the next morning, Rebecca has lost approximately $180,000 in annual income. This is where I could have stopped. I could have let the FTC do its work, but I'm not interested in her survival. I'm interested in truth. I contact a journalist. Her name is Emma. Emma writes for a publication focused on social media, marketing, and business ethics. I don't mention Rebecca directly. Instead, I pitch her a story about influencers who weaponize their platforms to damage people personally and professionally. Me, I have a case study. An influencer who used her platform to initiate false reports against a family member, who weaponized her audience to destroy someone's reputation and career, and who is now being investigated by the FTC for separate violations. Emma, that's a strong angle. Can you tell me more? Me, I can give you documents, I can give you timelines, I can give you proof. Emma, I'm interested. Journalism is the ultimate weapon, because a journalist's job is to tell the truth, and my job is simply to hand them the truth and watch what happens. 2 weeks later, Emma's article runs. The headline is, Inside the life of an influencer, how one woman used her platform for personal revenge. It's not named Rebecca directly, but it describes her exactly. It details the haircutting incident. It details the Instagram post. It connects the dots between Rebecca's actions and the CPS investigation. It includes the recovered deleted messages where Rebecca discussed having me reported. It includes the financial impact. It includes the fact that she's under FTC investigation. The article goes viral. Within 24 hours, it has been shared 147,000 times. Comments flood in from people who follow Rebecca. I can't believe I trusted her. She lied to us this whole time. She's a manipulator. Her Instagram engagement drops by 73%. Her follower count decreases by 41,000 followers in 48 hours. The remaining brand partnerships that hadn't already ended are canceled. This is the moment where she finally understands. She wasn't powerful because of her beauty or her charisma. She was powerful because people chose to believe her, and once they stopped believing, she became nothing. Rebecca calls me. She's crying. REBCCA, how could you do this? How could you tell the media about me? Me, I didn't tell them. I gave them facts. I didn't make any of this up. Everything in that article is true. REBCCA, you've ruined my life. My career is gone. Everyone hates me. I'm getting death threats online. My voice, VOICOVER, and here's where I realize the difference between revenge and justice. I didn't ruin her life. She did. I simply ensured that she couldn't hide from what she did, that her actions had consequences, that the story she told about herself had to match reality. Me, you cut my daughter's hair without permission. You weaponized that action on social media. You initiated a false report to Child Protective Services. You tried to take my child from me, and when that didn't work, you destroyed my career. All of that is in that article. All of that is true. REBCCA, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, Sarah, you have to help me fix this. You have to tell them the truth. Me, the truth is what's in that article. I hang up. 6 months later, Rebecca's career as an influencer has effectively ended. She has no significant brand partnerships. Her Instagram following has dwindled to 43,000 followers. Most of them are accounts dedicated to criticizing her or documenting her downfall. She's facing the FTC fine. She's also facing a civil lawsuit. I filed suit for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and tortious interference with business relations. Mr. Chen estimated the damages at $340,000. Rebecca's legal team is recommending settlement, but she's refusing. She wants to fight. I think she still believes she can win, that her charm and beauty can talk her way out of this, that she can make people believe her version of events, but that's not how consequences work. Consequences don't negotiate. My life has changed, but not in the ways I expected. I'm busier now. The publicity of the story, even though Rebecca wasn't named in some outlets, has led to new clients reaching out. People who want to hire a designer who is smart enough to take down her sister. It's morally complicated, but it pays the bills. My income has increased by 40%. The school has removed Lily from its monitoring list. Parents, realizing what happened, have been apologizing, reaching out, inviting Lily to birthday parties again. But I don't trust them. This is what betrayal teaches you. Trust is not infinite. It's a currency that once spent is hard to earn back. The people who believed a social media post over their neighbor are not people I want in my life, and I'm grateful they've shown their true colors. I'm in my apartment on a Thursday evening. Lily is asleep upstairs. Her hair has grown back. It's long now, almost as long as it was before. But it's not the same. She's not the same. She's wary of people now. She's careful with her trust. At 8 years old, she understands that people you love can hurt you. That's not a lesson I wanted her to learn. but it's a lesson that will protect her. My voice, voiceover. I was reading something the other day, a quote from a psychologist who studies revenge. She said that true revenge isn't about destroying your enemy. It's about building something better for yourself. It's about taking the pain they've caused you and transforming it into something else. Power, growth, protection. I look at a photo of Rebecca, or what used to be Rebecca. A profile picture from when she had 500,000 followers. When she was happy. When she thought she was invincible. I don't hate her. Hate requires energy. I'm too busy building my life to waste energy on her. But I'm also not going to forget. I'm not going to pretend that what happened was okay. I'm not going to allow her back into my world. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure my daughter knows that some people don't deserve forgiveness. The lawsuit is still pending. Rebecca hasn't settled. Her new legal team is claiming that the article was libelous, that it wasn't factually accurate, and that I orchestrated a campaign to destroy her reputation. It's possible I'll never see the courtroom. It's possible she'll keep fighting until the legal fees destroy her more than any settlement ever could. I've learned that revenge has two paths. The first is quick and loud. Someone wrongs you, you hurt them immediately, and everyone sees it. The second path is quiet, long. It requires patience and documentation. It requires you to understand your enemy so thoroughly that you can predict every move they'll make. Most people choose the first path because it feels better. It's faster. But the second path destroys people completely. I close the laptop. I walk upstairs. I check on Lily. She's sleeping peacefully, one hand on top of the blanket. I don't kiss her forehead. I haven't done that since the hair-cutting incident. It feels wrong somehow, too much vulnerability. Instead, I just watch her. This is enough. People ask if I regret how I handled this, if I wish I'd done things differently, if I wish I'd just forgiven and moved on. But I didn't forgive because there was nothing to forgive her for doing. She didn't make a mistake. She made a choice. She chose to hurt me. She chose to hurt my daughter. And I chose to make sure that choice had consequences. That's not revenge. That's accountability. And accountability is something she can't post about on Instagram. Fade to black. My name is Sarah, and this is my story. Or it was. Now it's something else. It's a warning. If you're thinking about using someone's child as a weapon in a personal conflict, understand that there are people like me out there. People who are willing to be quiet. People who are willing to wait. People who are willing to document everything and hand it to journalists and federal agencies. People who won't forgive and won't forget. Be careful who you underestimate. Because underestimation is the only weapon that quiet people need.